Okay, fellas, we in a part of this podcast. This part right here made me just stop listening to this podcast. Okay, they're pretty much talking about what a simulation is and stuff like that. I know what it is. Some reason they don't know what it is. And I'm mad at some of the I ain't trying to, some of these guys on the podcast that's interviewing these guys, man, you guys should have chimed in and said, hold up. But you didn't. So that's why I'm making this video. So listen to his answer. This is Mike Brizzo talking. This is Mike Brizzo talking. Watch what he says on his views of what a simulation is. Check this out.
The thing about it is when you make an analogy with a boxing fight in terms of what sim, like there's one of those things where, like at the end of the day, like Gaddy Ward was a really not sim boxing fight. You know what I mean?
He just said Gotti Ward was not a real sim boxing fight. Mind you, he said real. Which that, Brizzo, real is a simulation. But hold on, wait, before I really clarify that for you, let's continue.
You know what I mean? Castillo Corrales was a really not sim boxing fight.
Castillo Corrales is really a not sim boxing fight. Man, these are the guys that's making Fight Night. These are the guys making Fight Night. Now let me show you. I'm going to show you what the definition of sim is. I don't know if you guys can see this, but it says simulation is the imitation of something real. To sum it all up. Now, everything that's in a boxing ring, Brizzo, everything you see on boxing is a simulation. If somebody tries to recreate you and your likenesses, like they so often do in sports, they're trying to simulate you. Because that's who you are. Like, I can't believe you gave that answer. And then it gets even better. Keep listening.
Fight. Hagler Hearns was really not sim, according to a lot of people's sort of.
Hagler Hearns was not sim? Okay. All that you named was sim. Let me tell you the difference. Those are styles of fighters. Those are those styles. Those are styles, not sim. Using the wrong word, buddy. I'm sorry. That's just a style of a fight. It gets better.
Sort of definition of sim, but at the end of the day, like those are always the fights that those are the ones that everybody remembers. But
I cannot believe you just said that though. Like I just had to pause it. It wasn't no reason. You said that those fights are not sim. Like, oh my God. Like, you guys are making this game. You guys are making this game. Unbelievable. Let's go.
But nobody really, I remember barely staying awake for Mayweather De La Hoya, and that was.
Now you bring up Mayweather and De La Hoya. Hold on. Let me let you finish.
And that was a really sim boxing fight, kind of.
That was a sim boxing fight? Dude, that's just a style. Everything you name is all simulation. That's all real. It's real life. That's what simulation means. Man, let's continue.
Fight kind of thing. So it's tricky to find and define what sim exactly means. So I'm not saying that we nailed it by any stretch of the imagination. Like certainly there's some standard problems and there's some some footwork, stuff like that. But it's stuff we're always trying to improve. But in terms of like what sim, it's really in boxing sport where so many different things can happen. It's styles make fights, and it's the number of outcomes that can result, and then the number of ways a fight can go it's virtually limitless. So it's, you know, one person's sim is another person's arcade, and one person's arcade is another sim. So that's just something where I don't think we're ever going to make.
What? Whoa! Let him finish.
We're going to make everybody happy.
Okay, I'm glad you said that, and this is the reason why I send messages to these guys that's doing a podcast, like Poetic, you know, shout out to you, whatever. That's why I say stray away from the word simulation, because they get confused. Because you categorizing it. The best thing they can do, and this is some advice that I can give Brizzo and Mike Mahar, quit trying to please everybody. All you guys need to do is make boxing. Try to replicate what you see on television and try to, best of your ability, make it in the game. Because no matter what you do, somebody's going to be mad. Somebody's going to get upset. Don't nobody like the same drink. Don't nobody think the same girl looks good. You didn't like the Mayweather-De La Hoya fight. A lot of people didn't like the fight. Some people did. You got all these different opinions, these different personalities. Everybody don't like the same thing. Everybody don't like the same fighter. You cannot please everybody. So the best thing that you can do, and Mike Mahar and all you other producers, quit trying to please everybody by trying to figure out what's simulation and what's arcade. Don't even scrap that. You guys need to just make boxing. What's on TV? Because you can't get it. You can't satisfy everybody. But if you can replicate the sport, that's all you can do. You guys are trying to find sweet spots to stuff that don't even belong in the game. You know, you just said a fight that De La Hoya fight you didn't like. You didn't like the fight. And you made a comment on the analog sticks. You didn't like, on the analog bin, analog sticks is better because that's what you prefer. That's just that's right. Perfect examples right there. That's a personal preference of yours. But when you start taking your personal preferences and just scrapping everything you guys thought was right that you guys should have put in the game, do the opposite of that. But like I say, assimilation is anything that's real. That's all that is. That's all what they should have told you. Nobody chimed in to correct you on that. I would have chimed in so quick you couldn't even say nothing. I would have shut all that down. For one, I wouldn't use the word simulation because you cannot please everybody. It's impossible. But you can make, like I say, just make the game. All you guys in sports and you guys' EA library right now is just trying to replicate the sport. Madden, for the first time, they're trying to took all the gimmickry out and try to replicate the sport. Hockey, they try to replicate the sport. They ain't worried about what Stan and Billy and Joe was worried about. They just trying to look it on TV. You got these guys making a game. They just trying to replicate the sport. You guys are not doing that. You guys are trying to find sweet spots. What's fun here? What's arcade here? What do you think simulation here? Your whole simulation is wrong. You think because somebody's two guys are boxing each other as simulation? Wrong. That's just a style. All these styles make up boxing. Man, you guys is making this game. No wonder it's like this. Don't take this the wrong way. I mean, if you take it the wrong way, so be it. I mean, I had to chime in. I just could not believe you guys were saying this. I want to set the record straight before, if there is a round 5, because some of the decisions that you guys made is mainly like the analog stick. I know about 30 guys that didn't even buy the game because of that. Now you guys patch it. Now my friends come over here and they play it, and I say it's patched. They go get the game. They don't have internet. They screwed. You guys are making these big decisions of what you think. Don't quit doing. Just make boxing. You can't go wrong with that. Somebody's gonna always bitch and moan. Man, I can't even listen to the rest of this podcast, man. I'm just disgusted. I'm out.